Welcome back to the vlog, guys. Jeff and I are heading back to Goroka. It's 2 in the afternoon. Should be an interesting one getting back to Goroka today. Clouds look like they're just building like absolutely crazy big today. So forecasting and what it is right now. 1 p.m. Here's what it is right now. We're heading from MAYUI down here to Goroka. Just mute myself while you get your stuff. And
Moresby 126.7 November Tango Kilo.
Actually,
November Tango Kilo, Moresby.
November Tango Kilo, taxi MAYUI Goroka 2 POB.
November Tango Kilo.
All stations MAYUI on 126.7 Kodiak November Tango Kilo is taxiing for runway 10. All stations MAYUI.
Let me throw up, I'm on mute so he doesn't hear what I'm saying, but anyway, this is what the satellite's looking like right now. A lot of build up out from Madang. We just came from Madang just a few minutes ago. But we do have a lot of build up rain and everything else right on our direct track. And then looking at about 3 o'clock is about the time we're going to be getting there. A lot has changed. We got some rain kind of the north side of Goroka, but the actual valley looks like it's probably just going to be cloudy and stuff. So that's our hope. Kind of have to get back to Goroka today, just because if we don't get back there today, then our whole day of flying tomorrow will not work. We just won't have enough time in the day to actually complete it all.
All stations MAYUI Kodiak November Tango Kilo is back taxiing runway 284, runway 10. All stations MAYUI. All stations MAYUI Kodiak November Tango Kilo is departing runway 10 for Goroka on climb 15,000. All stations MAYUI.
Fail. I'm going back to 0.
You got to go back to 20. I'll go ahead and reset it for you. To reset it before, otherwise it won't do anything. There we go. Now it went away. I haven't had those in a long time. Alright, what's your plan for getting out of here?
Well, I think I'm going to track the coast a little bit longer until about there and then turn on course.
Okay, I think that's a good idea. Because, I mean, we just came in this way.
Exactly.
It was perfectly nice
Yep.
right down there. By the time, we're going all the way up to 15,000, by the time we get to the same place that we came in,
We should be able to maintain. Alright, so departed time on the hour. Recommended reporting point, MAYUI.
November Tango Kilo, Moresby, operator stand by.
You're at a minimum safe, so if we do go in the clouds, we're fine.
alright. Just looking ahead.
Probably if we go, well, yeah, if we stay on the coast a little more, probably going to be a little less, and it's not that far out of the way.
November Tango Kilo, Moresby, go ahead.
November Tango Kilo departed time, or MAYUI time on the hour. We'll be tracking 141 for our amended reporting point MAYUI. On climb 15,000. Estimate MAYUI time 30.
At MAYUI, make primary 120.1.
1010 and at MAYUI 120.1 November Tango Kilo.
I'm curious to know, like all the satellite pictures was just showing that it was like spreading across from basically Madang all the way up to Goroka almost.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that actually looks like in real
here.
life. Yeah. Oxygen in this airplane. It's a non-pressurized airplane, so we actually have to wear oxygen when we go up high, and that's what these things are for. Then after we turn our oxygen on, we have like these little regulators. I don't know if you can actually see that. There's a ball in there, and it goes up and down, and then you just adjust it for whatever altitude that you're going up to. We're going up to 15,000, but not everybody's like that, but I am everywhere. Well, how's it looking at where we're going? Not bad.
It really doesn't.
Not like what the forecast was this morning, that's for sure.
So we're on top here at, you know, I mean, they're still what, 1,000 feet?
Are higher than us, and those ones are just probably about the same level.
Okay.
But then the ones down in the valley, those ones are probably like, what are we at, 10,000 almost?
Yeah.
I bet you those are probably at least 5,000 foot below us.
Okay.
All those ones way out there.
Sure. And this stuff is just what's built up over the ridge.
Yeah, going into MAYUI.
MAYUI.
Yep. I am curious to know what it's going to look like when we get really... so it could either rain out by then or it could build up.
Yeah, the satellites, it's just showing, I mean, as it gets red, it's just getting higher and the temperature's dropping, isn't it? Like
it is, but that just also means right here, that's what those magenta boxes are. Then once we get leveled off, we're 15,000, so I'm guessing our airspeed is probably going to be like 121 or 122 probably by the time indicated at least. By the time we get all leveled off and everything. And then Jeff will actually pull our power, our ITT, because now we're over 12,000, we're actually going to bring our ITT and fly with that. And that's trying to let us know it's below 5 degrees Celsius outside to put our pitot heats on. So he's just going to bring the power back. 700 ITT.
Moresby 126.7, November Tango Kilos, maintaining 15.
Number Tango Hotel Moresby, order 15,000. No reported traffic. MAYUI 120.1 primary.
120.1 at MAYUI, November Tango Kilo.
Right, well, for the next 45 minutes, we're not going to be doing much, not talking much. So we'll pick back up once we get closer to figure out how we're going to get into the Goroka Valley. And if we can get in there today, hopefully we'll be able to, because I really don't want to go down to Madang and spend the night. We've got about 35 minutes yet to go to Goroka. We're still at 15,000, and we just passed our midway point, MAYUI. And as you can see, we've just got a lot of buildup. We got light, I don't know, light to heavy rain, I guess, down there along the edges of the mountains. But basically, here PNG, the weather really follows the terrain for the most part. I'd say probably 80 or more % of the time, it just follows the terrain. So if you really know how the terrain goes and you follow your terrain map, then it really helps fill in those pictures on what the weather is going to do or is doing. So all the brown right here is where the mountains are, and that's really right where all the clouds are built up. All this area over here coming down to Mago. Then we have a big buildup right out there, and then it's nice and blue directly ahead of us, which is just basically down the Ramu Valley. You can kind of see there's this nice green line all the way down. That's just the lowest. So really that's where we're tracking right now, is we're just tracking down there until we can get to Baraman, which is going to be our IFR reporting point, well, for ourselves, so that we can know that we can get over top of the mountain. Out from there, we'll actually be texting our home base to get a weather report in the Goroka Valley, so we can assess if we want to go that way or if we want to go around the corner and try to get through the Bennett Gap visually or something like that, because we just don't know what the weather's like there yet. And as we get closer into MAYUI, or I mean Baraman and stuff, I like to make sure that I'm further on out, and then that way I can go, I'm seeing all of the gaps, because you know how like the Goroka gaps are, they're like directly perpendicular to us.
Exactly.
So then if you're coming in at an angle, like right up next to the clouds, like you don't see them until like you're like
right there,
like
and then you're like
of a mile, and they're like, oh, there it is, let's go.
Yeah, so if you just track a little further in the Ramu, you've got a lot better chance of seeing in.
Because so many times I've gone through the Osaloka and just squeezed through it, and then I'm like looking back at the Goroka and it's like 4 miles wide and open. You're like, I should have just waited like literally 30 seconds later and I could have seen it. And if I was further on out, then you'd be able to see down through that way.
All right, I think I'll go ahead get weather Goroka now.
What Jeff is doing right now, we have this app. Actually, I should have been screen recording this flight, but I forgot to for you guys. If you guys are a flight simmer and you want to try some of these flights that we do, I have the 75 or more of them on my Patreon page, where I give you a screenshot and the details of the day and the weather and landing airstrips and things like that if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Check it on the App Store if you're interested in seeing what it is. And it connects with this little box up here, and we can text back to our home base computer, or we can text to different, like our own company airplanes as well. So very handy tool here in Papua New Guinea. It uses cell phone data if it's near cell phone, which is, there actually are some around on the mountaintops, And then if it doesn't, it uses satellite. So at any time we can connect back with their home base, or they can ask us questions about different things, the weather, or our ETA and things like that. So it's a huge, it's just such an amazing tool. Before that, it was just such a pain to be able to connect with anybody on HF radio. As we go IMC, up to the viewers, is just for temperature wise, all we have pitot heats, or pitot 2 heat on this plane. We don't have any other de-icing anything. And we're right at 3 degrees Celsius. So really, we start getting into a cloud, it'll probably drop 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. And that's really kind of the prime icing temperatures. So that's what we're talking about. So, well, yeah, as long as we're at 14 and going through over there, if that's what we choose to do, then we only have 1,000 feet to drop down. So
yeah, it does take long.
The higher up we stay, the better view that we have, determining what options that we have to get through that. If we go at 14, we'll have to remain IMC all the way until we get into the valley. Where's that?
It's up north, not sure best arrival. That's Brad.
All right.
So he's saying
if he was a little more descriptive, like West Ridge, like how's it looking to the south? Like said it was clear overhead, I think, but
well, I'll ask him what's Benna look like, or can you see the Benna, or
how high these are? Do you think? We know that we're at 15,000
right now, and it's
probably another 15,000 probably higher than us, 20,000 foot higher than us.
Yeah. 10, request estimate Goroka.
Opening up kind of a trough right over top of the north ridges that we want to go over. It might still be 10,000 foot higher than this, but it looks like there's a trough maybe.
Open at Lobilo and south. Feels in.
Southwest at 9,000, shortly on descent. Sit by second attempt.
Goroka.
Sit by 1201, Michael for India.
Feels up north of here.
Moresby, 4-5 minutes. Flight level 3.
I think that's what I'd like to do, is track Brahman, descend to 14, punch through, and then drop down.
All right, let's do that.
Good.
Looks like right over top is kind of that trough is probably right over top of the valley, I'm guessing.
Break, number 10 kilo, for descent, traffic secretary to the double uniform, Super King departed Mount Hagen for Goroka. You passed the bar, north about 7,000, it's initially wide at Korko, estimating Goroka at 0505. And Goroka key station, key 1 is 1014.
Copy, Juliet Alpha uniform and 1014, November Tango Kilo.
Number 10 kilo, no additional 15 miles, contact Goroka, 118.7.
118.7 at 15, November Tango Kilo.
Thought that might have been a hole, but I can't really tell.
Yeah, that's
got over there, but that's really tracking more towards the Dolo.
Okay.
And it's just dark on the other side. I don't think that's land that we're seeing. I think that's just rain on the other side.
Okay.
Probably be able to wiggle our way down through, but I don't know. I'd just be waiting for a hole and then just chop and drop and go down as quickly as we can. Yeah, Goroka's like that way. And another thing with coming to the Osaloka rather than the Goroka gap or just going straight is it gets you into the valley sooner than if you were to keep. This is giving you to the end of the valley nearly to start your descent.
Goroka QNH 1014.
There we go, 10. Oh, you already got that. 1014, nice.
All right, I'm gonna go start getting through my checklist. Our VREF 56. I'm just gonna do 70.
Potentially pretty crap. It might be a good idea to slow down.
Okay.
Then it's not going to throw you around quite as much. It looks like there's potential rain, so I'd be throwing my bypass in now.
And ignition.
And then slowing it down to probably about 120 just so that I have a buffer just to, because the slower we go through any clouds, it's just going to be a lot less violent.
Okay. And my VREF is done.
And if it gets into heavy rain, which I don't think it will, then I'd be flipping on my igniters. If it looks like you have them on.
Yeah, I did them already.
Miles to run. It's 5 miles to run the Oslo.
Goroka Tower, November Tango Kilo.
November Tango Kilo, Goroka Tower, go ahead.
Goroka Tower, November Tango Kilo is 15 miles to the north, maintaining 14,000, estimate circuit time 0 or 10.
November Tango Kilo, Goroka Tower, you broken, transmission broken, cockpit 15.
Guys, all the mountains and stuff are over this way. Okay. There, I'm starting to see some holes right down here. There you go, right through there.
Front forward. 10 degrees flaps in. Yeah, I'll circle to the northwest and then enter left downwind.
All right, if you get 20 degrees of flaps in and then do like a 45-degree bank and just circle down, we can go down to like 2,500 feet per minute.
Pitch for about 12 degrees up and then set the power on the go around, which will be the 740. Goroka Tower, November Tango Kilo is 7 miles to the northwest. We'll be circling to the northwest for letdown and be requesting a left downwind for runway 35 right.
November Tango Kilo, copy that. Report when ready to turn second on left downwind.
You're doing okay?
They're fine. There's 3,000 feet per minute. How much quicker you can descend when you throw a bank in there? But your airspeed really hasn't changed, 5 or 6 knots. Oh, your altitude bugged down to your altitude that you want. Then you have a better idea of if you're going down at a speed that's good, or is it too fast or not enough, or what? Well, I'm glad that flight worked out for us.
Yep. Goroka Tower, November Tango Kilos, left downwind 35 right.
November Tango Kilo, 35 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 35 right, November Tango Kilo.
Interested in getting some sunglasses like these. I got these in actually gold and silver with glass lenses. They're non-polarized, so they work with screens, and I have some polarized ones as well on my site. But if you're interested, check these out. I do run sales on them, probably like once a month or something like that, but I've had them for over a year now, and they're still holding up with no scratches. So anyway, thought I'd throw that plug in there for you guys.
I think we might have a little bit of tailwind.
4 or 5 knots for tailwind.
Flaps.
Well, as you guys saw, the weather today
500.
Becoming more typical now that we're getting more into the full-on rainy season. It is March now when this video is filmed. I don't know when it'll be posted, but yeah, you'll probably be seeing a lot more of dealing with the weather and figuring out how we're going to get around things, because it's not just like cut and dry IFR stuff here in Papua New Guinea, because you have to get back down into the valleys and land. We don't have an approach or anything like that here in the Goroka, so it's IFR to VFR to IFR to VFR and figure out what you want to do and icing and everything else. So very nice. Well, I'm glad we made it back. Thanks, guys, for taking the time to watch. Hope you guys did enjoy that. Put a thumbs up, share the video, whoever you think might like this kind of video. And if you're interested in learning how to fly the Kodiak on Flight Sim, X-Plane, Microsoft Flight Sim, I actually have a Kodiak course that walks you through all of our own procedures that we use here in the Kodiak. And I think you guys will enjoy it. So check out the link down below if you're interested and if you're a flight simmer. So see you guys next time.